Firstly, out of the two boxers to make his way to the stage from Klaipėda, Lithuania, Dmitry Kalanovsky. And now to make his way to the stage, ahead of his second appearance in the ring as a professional boxer, from Brighton, Tommy Welch. So first bell then on Saturday evening is at 5:30. This is the bout which is going to open our show for us. Here he is, sat to my left-hand side now. It's going to be fight number 2 for him as a professional career. He's 26 years old now, turned professional at 25. Is that a bit late to turn professional, do you think, at 25 years old in the heavyweights?
Well, considering all the top guys are 30, 31s and older as well, I think it's a perfect age.
And why Hennessy Sports?
Mick's a great guy. He's more of a personal man. He deals with us on a one-to-one basis. We don't have to go through 100 people like other camps, perhaps. So for me, it's more of a personal connection. This is a personal career for us. And yeah, I think he's the man for the job, to be honest, yeah.
Now, as far as boxing goes, in the amateurs, you've got 4 national titles behind you as well. From a boxing family, he was obviously a very proud son watching his father in the ring. Is this now time for the roles to reverse and you to repay that proudness for your father?
It's time to put his name back on the map. He had a great career. I started my career, with a stoppage and the ball's rolling now. That was a nice warm-up fight. I mean, this show's a lot bigger and better already, so with the crowd now attending the show, I'm looking forward to putting on a real performance. Yeah.
And talking to the proud father as well, on my right-hand side here is the Brighton Rock, obviously heavyweight boxer, former British Commonwealth champion, world title challenger. Have we now become the proud father, watching the son step through those ropes for the first time as a professional boxer?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always been proud of him all the way through. He's always impressed me in different bits and pieces all the way through his life from a young kid. I think we were going to buy him a bike for Christmas one year, and when he was about 12 years old, and he said, "No, don't worry, Dad. I'm okay. I'll get my own way," and things like that. So he's always been a great kid. Never really asked for much and never really wanted much. So never thought he'd really go into the boxing. He was rugby and football. I think he used to say the gloves used to make his hands stink. So so I weren't too sure what way he was going to go, and I gave him everything that I never had. So I didn't think he would need to go in the ring, But as it turned out, he loved it after being dragged to the gym a few times at the beginning, and then he crossed over and enjoyed it, yeah.
And I'll ask the same couple of questions to you as well, Scott. Turning professional at 25, and also as well, why Hennessy Sports?
I think 25 years old. He's fresh. He ain't got much mileage on the clock. Again, in the juniors, I didn't expect him to do anything in the ABAs. He went through and won the ABAs, won the 4 nations, and was ready for the Europeans and the Worlds, and then they got cancelled in 2013. He then literally went missing, come back periodically, never really trained for any bouts. I think he had about another 8 or 10 fights through as a senior. Didn't really.
Won a couple of national titles as a senior as well.
Actually, he did, yeah. But But again, without training. So the fact that he's now come back, he's now trained better than I've ever seen ever before, he's doing incredible and growing every day. So for me, he's in a great place. And Hennessy Sports, me and Mick have been pals for quite a few years, and there was an opportunity. I asked him if there was anything going to get on the show, and he come back and said, "Yeah, Scott, we've got a slot for you." First fight, got him off and running, and fantastic. So, yeah, I look forward to a great journey. So.
And as far as this coming Saturday goes, Dimitri, if we can bring you in, welcome to the UK. You looking forward to Saturday?
Yeah. I'm ready for tomorrow, or for Saturday, yeah.
Did you watch Scott's first fight on television?
No.
Tom's first fight on television. Did you watch Tom's first fight on television? You haven't seen it?
No.
You could watch Scott's first fight. It's pretty simple.
What do you make of your opponent on Saturday then, Dimitri?
Sorry?
What do you know about Tommy?
Yeah, no, he have one fight only, so it's a mistake.
I think we'll move swiftly back to Tommy. And Tommy, what did you learn from that first debut performance with Matt Gordon? Second round TKO, and John Lewis sort of fit to stop that one. Did you take a lot from that and the step from amateur to professional?
Obviously, it was a different sort of stage. There wasn't anyone in there apart from camera guys and people with masks. So it was a bit strange. I'm looking forward to seeing a crowd this time. I've got a few fans coming up, family and friends and stuff like that supporting me. So I'm looking forward to just getting in there. Really, don't know too much about this man. We've had a few different opponents come in and go in. So the matchmaker we sorted it out. Let's put this guy in front of us, and I've got to step over him and carry on progressing. So, yeah, that's the plan.
And Scott, how easy it's to train your son, to manage and train your son as well? Again, since he's been back in the last year, it's been a lot easier. Before, for the last 5 years before, it was very, very hard, but since the lockdown, it's been a blessing in disguise. It's been absolutely unbelievable, and as I say, I can't believe the difference, to be honest with you. And what about the plan going forward? Boxing in your day, you've had a lot of quick consecutive fights. What's your plan, short term, long term, for Tommy now? I mean, in my day, I was in an era where you had people like Mike Tyson, 28 fights in kind of 15, 16 months. Incredible pace of, I think I had 5 fights in 2.5 months in one part of my career in about 93, 94. And the plan is to keep Tom busy, get him as many fights as I can this year. Hopefully we'll be somewhere around the 8 to 10 mark by the end of the year. And then just keep getting, this game, we want to be in this game and out. We don't want to spend too much time in it. We understand how tough it is and how hard it is, and it's not a game that we want to kind of stay in too long. And a realistic prediction from you, Scott, where do you see Tommy maybe in 12, 24 months from now then? Listen, as far as I'm concerned, Tom can go with any of these heavyweights. Joshua and, apart from Joshua and Fury, them boys are way more experienced, but, we're not far off the others at all. Believe me when I tell you that. So, time will tell, and you'll see the improvement every time we step up to the mark. So. And Tommy, finally, a prediction for Saturday, maybe?
I haven't got a prediction. I just want to go to work, to be honest, get the job done. I've been training a long time, so get in the ring, enjoy the show, and put my work to good use.
This father and son team go into the ring this coming Saturday evening. It is a 4-round scheduled bout in the heavyweight division. If you have your cameras at the ready now, we'll ask both of our boxers to pose for the fixtures. This is the one which opens our show. First bell 5:30.
Tom, go to the tapes, please. That's it, perfect. That's it. Now fold your arms a little this way, please. Fold your arms. Perfect. Go down there, guys. That's lovely. one fist up. Come this way, please, Welch. Look to the front. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Best wishes. There we are, both of our boxers, Dmitry Kalinowski and Tommy Welch in the ring this Saturday in a scheduled 4-round heavyweight to make his way to the stage from Warminster, Wiltshire. Please welcome Paul Cummings. And now to make his way to the stage, second year as a professional boxer, entering the ring on Saturday evening with 5 professional victories from Sevenoaks, Kent, introducing Michael Hennessy Jr. Welcome, guys. We'll start with Michael, another big bill on Channel 5. You're always smiling. I've known Michael now for 10 years. You're always smiling, always got a big smile on his face, always happy, always walking around the hotel corridors doing some shadow boxing. You're obviously in a very good place at the minute, aren't you?
Yes, Paul, I'm in an excellent place at the moment. You know, I've really turned the corner with my boxing since the last fight back in December. I've had six months to work on things, and you know, I've really started to dedicate my life to the sport of boxing, and you know, really starting to sacrifice. And you know, I've never looked so forward to showcasing my skills in a fight before, because I know everyone's going to see a massive difference.
That's good to hear. And looking at obviously your background, you've had boxing in your family right throughout your life. Do you think you was always destined to become a professional boxer?
I don't know about destined to be a professional boxer. I feel like I was destined to be a part of boxing in some way, whether it was in the promotional side or in the ring, I guess. But yeah, this was for me from a young age. You know, I've been me and my friends would be at home. We'd be hitting each other with little 8-ounce gloves on that we'd find lying around the house, and you know, I've loved it from a young age, and had over 100 fights now from the age of 11. So I feel like if this wasn't for me, I would know by now.
And you had over 100 fights in the amateurs. Making the step from amateur boxing to professional boxing, how did you find that?
I've always had a pro style, even in the amateurs. Everyone believes that. So in terms of my style, that was not too much of a transition. But you know, I've realised that this is a dangerous game I'm in, and I've had to start working a lot harder, being a lot more dedicated, and sacrifice a lot more, you know, because if you don't do these things in this sport, you get hurt. So yeah, I'm learning all the time, I'm improving all the time, and I'm looking to put on a career best performance this weekend.
And just looking at your opponents as well, just going to bring you in now, Paul, as well. Welcome back to boxing, a full year off. How have you been keeping during the full year?
Yeah, I've missed it. You know, I used to complain when I was fighting every week, and get up in the morning and go out for scrap sort of thing, you know what I mean? But like, after a couple of weeks, that was it. Like, you know, I was back in the gym, you know, and would get out and earn some money. But yeah, no, I have missed it terribly, yeah.
Well, welcome back. Looking forward to a good performance on Saturday night. Obviously, it's Michael Hennessy Jr. Does the name Hennessy carry a target for you? Want to strive to do better with being who he is?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think he looks decent lad, good boxer. I think it'll be a good fight, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You've obviously seen him. He's had some great TV coverage as well. What do you think of Michael's young career up to now?
Yeah, I think he's done well. I thought he got quite some harsh decisions. Yeah, I think he's done well, and I intend to give him a good tough night on Saturday.
And just turning to you now, Junior, as well. You're training young Michael. How happy are you, alongside his father Mick, with how his career is progressing?
Well, I definitely feel like the preparation for this camp has stood out to all previous preparations that we had. Michael touched on making sacrifices, and I feel like he's become a totally different person you know, you're going to get the venom and the mean streak coming out of him this performance.
Why are we going to see a new Michael Hennessy in this performance? What have you done different since the last fight?
He would tell you yourself, you know, me, I'm on him. I phone him at 5 o'clock every morning without fail to get up, go do your runs and everything. And he's changed as a person. He's saying, you know, someone has to pay for making me wake up at this time, you know. All these sacrifices, someone needs to pay for it. So his mindset has just changed. And to have that so young, you know, sky's the limit for him.
And going forward, where do you see Michael's career progressing in the next couple of years?
Michael Hennessy Jr. has all the ability and all the talent in the world, and it's all down to him.
Do you think it adds extra pressure to young Michael carrying the Hennessy name as well?
Absolutely, you know, his dad is a Hall of Fame promoter. You know, he's took a lot of fighters to the top. And listen, you know what they say about, you know, diamonds, you know, about pressure and everything. So, you know, it's made for him.
Tell us about Dad as well. Does Dad strive for the extra mile all the time from you? Is there any pressure there? Tell us the encouragement, the management that Father gives you.
You know, my dad, he's a massive part of my life, of course. He's a massive part of my team, even though the junior's the main man. He's training me. My dad's always in the gym, you know, offering us pearls of wisdom because he's incredibly knowledgeable around the game. And he was actually training me from the age of 11, done an excellent job. So he's still around it, and he's still very much a part of my training team. And you know, he wants the best for me. You know, he's a great person to have in your corner, like, especially as a dad as well. And I'm very grateful to have him.
Talking of the Hennessy fighting family as well, I'll let you share the news with everybody about maybe the latest member of the Hennessy family into the world of boxing.
Yeah, the number one in the Hennessy family, her name is Francesca Hennessy. She's currently 16 years old, and I'm sure you guys will be seeing her up here very soon, next couple of years. She's one not to miss out on, you know. She's explosive, that's all I'm going to say.
My favourite, by the way.
She's a gold medalist, never mind explosive. She's also England's Women's Winter Boxing Cup winner as well. So I believe that Father stopped Francesca sparring with you because she was damaging you.
Listen, definitely, I was walking around with way too many bruises, you know. She's an extremely special talent. You guys will see that one day because, you know, I've never seen the likes of it, especially at a young girl, so we're really excited for that journey. She's definitely the favourite in the family with Junior and my dad, so.
What about Michael? Does Michael give predictions? Do you let your gloves do the talking in the ring? What do we expect on Saturday night? Have you got a prediction for us at all?
The only prediction I'll give is a career best performance from my part. You know, I've got respect for Paul. You know, he's been in there with anyone and everyone. You know, he's a tough guy, and there wouldn't be a lot he hasn't seen. So the only prediction I'm making is my best performance today by a mile.
I'm going to ask you as well, taking you back last year to your one defeat on the record. How do you think that helped you in sort of regrouping, learning from that defeat, striving for the next win? How did you take it, and how did you bounce back from it?
I believe that will be a career-defining moment for me because I've never felt pain like that in my life. That really hurt me. That defeat. I believe I won the fight, but it forced me to sort of look in the mirror and reevaluate what I was doing because obviously something wasn't right. And I believe it's turned me into a man, and I'm doing things properly now. I've become a true professional, and I've developed that spiteful side that I needed because I was too nice before, too sportsmanlike.
And your father's been telling us as well about the Irish heritage and your career ambitions. Do you want to just share that with us about what you want to achieve?
I'm obviously half Irish. I've had a lot of my career over in Ireland. I'm proud to be part Irish, you know. So I'd love to win that title one day for sure. Maybe headline a few shows over there one day in the future. That'd be amazing. You know, I've got a lot of great friends and family over there, so it'd be only right to have a few big nights over there for sure.
Well, welcome back to boxing, Paul, for yourself. We're looking forward to seeing you on Saturday night. Looking forward to seeing a good, honest, 6-round welterweight contest. We are going to ask you now to get yourselves ready for your pictures. There we are then, a welterweight contest.
Touch your arms first, guys, that's it.
Paul Cummings, Michael Hennessy Jr. in the ring in this welterweight bout this coming Saturday night.
And now one fist up each, please, guys. That's great, guys. Thank you very much.
Next two boxers to make their way to the stage go head-to-head in a middleweight contest scheduled for 6 rounds of boxing. Firstly, to make his way to the stage is the first of our very colourful characters from the sport of boxing, from Lydney, Gloucestershire. Would you please welcome Louis Van Peitschen. Always takes a couple of real colourful characters to make a boxing bout at a press conference, no doubt. And we've got two of the finest in the business for you here now. It is the one and only body breaker himself from Birmingham with 9 career victories, Idris Virgo.
Check 1, check 2, check 3.
Right, we'll start with Idris. You have moved down to Brighton, so there's a bit of a change for this fight.
Yeah.
Change of location. Just talk to me about what's behind that move.
I decided I needed a new scenery. Obviously, it was a new team down to Brighton. Big sacrifice, left all my family behind, all my friends. So it was a big move. I do believe Brighton, I would say a lot of greatness, a lot of champions came from Brighton. Obviously, Chris Eubanks, Scott Welch, he's wore the t-shirt and so forth. So going to Brighton to enhance my boxing career and my enhance my skills was the best option for me. You only get one chance at this, so I thought, let's make the jump. Yeah.
And you've seen improvements in your training. You know, you've seen the developments that you wanted to see.
Yeah, 100% seen the developments and the improvements in the training and all sorts. It's for you guys to see. It's Saturday night, live on Channel 5, baby.
And you two actually fought before.
Have we?
You have, yeah.
Which number was I?
You have actually fought before. Louis, what do you make of Idris? You know, you have fought him. You know of him. You're both huge characters.
Yeah. I know. Just he's a nice guy. I think our boxing. He had a bit of a sabbatical from boxing. I think I might be in the first fight back then.
From the draw, yeah.
Yeah, and so you would have made improvements since then. He had a lot of time out from that fight, so that fight's nothing really to go off really, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see what happens in the first round on Saturday night.
Are you looking for an upset?
Who knows? Depends how I feel on Saturday morning. Because of the breakfast like.
You two, obviously, two of the big characters in boxing. The fans are back. How important is that, to get the fans back and put on a show?
It's going to be great. It's going to feel. It's hard to explain how it's going to feel, to be honest with you. But it's going to feel very adrenaline rush, like having your first pack of sweets after being on a diet or start.
I know what that's like.
Or being in the desert. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I love to perform for the crowd, before the fans. It's entertainment sport. It's what I do, you know what I mean. So welcoming the crowd back into my office is just a win-win for me. So let's get it on. It's great.
And you're not scared of calling people out, and you're happy to take on whoever, it seems.
Yeah.
What sort of fight are you wanting this year? What level of fights are you wanting? Because you're calling out anyone.
Oh, I wouldn't say calling anyone out. It's like they wouldn't be calling me out. Obviously, they know what I can bring to the table. I'm a big name, but at the same time, I'm just focused on fight by fight. Picture's a decent opponent. Got a lot of respect for him. He's been in the game for quite a long time, so he's knows himself around the ring. So all that calling out business, I'll let my performances speak for itself. I believe Scott Welch, as I said before, he's wore the t-shirt. And Saturday night, man, I just can't wait.
Scott, we'll just bring you in. What is it like working with Idris? You know, he's moved down to your gym. What's that been like?
Yeah, he's a unique character, definitely. He brings a bit of fun as well. So very, very, very easy to teach, to be honest with you. And he's been making, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of progress. We're looking forward to showing what he's done on Saturday night.
And Louis, what kind of fight are you expecting on Saturday night? Similar to the last one?
Yeah, like I said, that first stuff for the go-off, he's made improvements. I like to think I have as well. I've had a lot more time out of the ring than he has this time around, so who knows? For me, it's just stay in the office. I've had 136 fights. He's probably going to bring nothing I've not seen before. So I'm just going to get in there, have a go, and see what happens. Just do my thing. My bang, as I say, my bang.
Any final words to each other before Saturday?
Tell him what you really think. Tell him what you really think.
Alright, God, tell me what you think.
I've lost my words.
Someone's stirring.
That makes a change.
I was talking to Louis.
Oh, wait, shut the fuck up. So, excuse my friend.
No words for each other?
Nah, it's just strictly business on the night. It's just I'm doing my job, he's doing his, nothing personal. I've never been like that now, why would I change? Well, I've never been like that before, why would I change that now? So for me, Saturday night, do my job, and it's good to be back.
Yeah, that's it. I've never been for someone to upset my opponent. Always show them respect. So come on, it's being me.
Hey, just before we finish, I just want to, obviously earlier when River was on stage, you were having a few words.
River.
Yeah. So what was we at Wilson event? You were calling each other out.
Who's River?
He was on stage earlier. Is that
Was it?
someone that you would be looking to fight?
Huh? Where are you? Oh, can't see you. You're nobody. Oh, sorry. Wait. Yeah, Rivers. I'll fight you next.
I shouldn't have asked. Right, guys, we've got Saturday. If you want to do your final photos.
Surprise, the king is back.
Just one first. Yeah.
There we are, there is never a dull moment whilst Idris is around. Here we have two great characters from the sport of boxing, and they're in the ring. This coming Saturday evening, it's the middleweight bout. The boxers are scheduled for 6 rounds of boxing.
I can't see your face with this.
Was it on? I can't see nothing now.
That'd be great. Thank you. Oh.
It's the middleweight contest. It's scheduled for 4 rounds of boxing. To make his way to the stage, would you please welcome from St Johnston Island, undefeated Brett McGinty.
Right, so no opponent here. He is in the hotel somewhere, we just don't know where. So just talk to me, you made your pro debut in December. That was a long time coming. Do you feel like you almost getting a second pro debut because there was no fans, now fans are returning, you've got quite a few people coming to see you?
I would say, to be honest, it does in a way feel like a pro debut all over again because like obviously there's going to be fans there, a few travelling over, family and friends and stuff coming over to watch me, so I suppose in a way it is like my pro debut all over again. Me and Rick were laughing and playing about my last fight. We just travelled down from Birmingham and I stayed in the house that night myself, had a can of Coke and a bar of chocolate, and that was how we celebrated my pro debut win. So hopefully this time we'll be able to get out and about and enjoy it and enjoy another one, hopefully.
How difficult was it to have your pro debut delayed by so much? Did you manage to keep that motivation in the gym? Was it hard?
It was tough, definitely, now, because at the start, initially, I had a bit of trouble getting my licence. Not a bit of trouble, but it took a bit longer than we had hoped. So I was planning on making my debut in March, and then I think it was it was actually St Patrick's Day, the 17th of March, that the fight was cancelled. I was supposed to fight on the 21st of March, so that was really, really tough now, to be honest. And then I went back home for 4 or 5 months just during the lockdown, and then came back then, and obviously got the opportunity with Hennessy Sports in the 19th of December show. So to get that opportunity was great for me, but it was tough to stay motivated during all that time, as it was for every fighter. But it was great then they finally get the debut and they get it boxed off.
And it's a huge move for you, to move to Manchester, away from home. How have your preparations gone? How are you finding it in the gym, and are you seeing yourself improving all the time?
I'm improving every day. People always talk about, somebody who's a well-decorated amateur and has those amateur fights. Like, it's a complete different world. Pro boxing is nearly like a different sport. So I'm learning every day. I'm learning under Ricky and Blaine, and I'm progressing every day. And I feel like I'm doing it in the gym, and it's up to me now they bring that into my fights, and hopefully I will on Saturday night and show the improvements that I'm making.
Ricky, we'll just bring you in. I've seen that you've said that you see a younger yourself in him. You remind you of a younger you. Why is that? What do you see in Brett that you can't?
One, because of his fighting style. I think, as you can see on his pro debut, he's got a wonderful TV style that I think that fans are going to absolutely love. But he's just his attitude. You know what I mean? His debut, he had a pull-out of opponents, and a much bigger kid stepped in. He said, "No problem, Rick, I'll have it, no problem." And a few speed bumps along the way, but he ticked a lot of boxes in that first fight. A few boxes I'd like him to have ticked a few fights later. But no, he proved he's got, just like myself, I had a massive heart, works hard in the gym. He's got an exciting style. I've had a change of opponent this time, and he said, "Yeah, no problem, don't worry about it, Rick." And that's the things you want to see from your boxers. If he'd have turned around and said, "Oh, I don't fancy this, I don't fancy this, I've had another pull-out of opponent," you're in the wrong game, son, aren't you? So that's his attitude, and that, with someone that was such a decorated amateur with all the amateur titles he's won, in his first fight he showed his heart, and he showed his determination and how he could dig down and dig deep and stuff like that. But in this next fight, we're hoping we can show a little bit more of what he's got in his armoury and his repertoire, because you don't have the amateur pedigree that he's got without having that little bit extra. I know he's a good TV fighter, and he's got a style very similar to mine, very attacking, very exciting, but there's a lot more in the locker with Brett McGinty, and over the period of time he'll start showing it. And I think on Saturday night, we'll see a little bit more this time rather than what we did last time.
What potential do you see in Brett? Do you see him being able to go all the way?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, he's when to have a pro style in the amateurs, and win so many amateur titles, that shows natural talent. And what he's gone through, from what he did in the first fight, he's gone to the gym, he's learned, he's stayed in Manchester, stayed working, stayed training. He's takes a lot of, he's away from his family, his friends, his home comforts, and he's in that house in Manchester and his home, and it must be really, really hard for him, but he wants it so bad. And I think since the last fight, we just worked on everything, to be honest with you, which is what you've got to do as a novice professional. There's not one particular thing you have to work on. I think if there's one thing gone, we can move on from the last fight, just be that little bit more switched on, so you don't get clipped with the odd big swing, But ultimately, he's went back to the gym and worked on everything, and he's improving everything, and he's got a lot more in his repertoire than just his attacking, come forward style. And over a period of time, I think they're going to love it.
Brett, you've had a last-minute change of opponent again, and Ricky says you're fine with that. Does it affect you at all to have the constant change of opponents?
No, not really, Ali, to be honest. It's one thing I've learned since I started in the pros is how quickly things can change. I don't really think especially in the early stages of your career, there's any point like working on a game plan maybe 4 or 5 weeks out from a fight, because it can all change in the click of a fingers, and that's what happened this time again. But no, it hasn't really affected me, to be honest. I'm fighting my opponent Saturday night. I'm absolutely prepared. I've trained hard for this fight, and as I train for every fight, we've been working hard in the gym, and as I say, I've been improving. So whoever the opponent is. So I'll be ready to fight.
Yeah, it happens a lot. I've said to Brett, it happens a lot. I wish I had a pound for every time it happened to me when I was at this stage of my career. It happens, and you can either have the attitude of a champion like he's had. Yeah, no problem, Rick. Let's get the job done. Or if you start moaning and groaning about it at this early stage, or something like that, then we've got problems, haven't we? But he just gets on with it, and he'll be bouncing in the press again on Saturday.
And Brett, what confidence does it give you to have Ricky as your coach, done what he's done, and him believing in you and thinking you've got great potential? Does that give you that extra bit of confidence when you're in the ring?
Definitely. It's good to be getting advice from a man who's been there and done the things that I can only dream of doing someday in the ring. And these lads have also trained the world champion as well. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because it's a bit of a nightmare, but he's Kazakh Zanat. That's all I'm going to say. But they've trained the world champion as well, so he's done it on the ring and done it as a coach. So I'm taking advice from a man who's been there and done it, and he knows what he's talking about.
And are you going to make a statement Saturday night?
Well, I hope so. I'm in the condition to do it physically and mentally. I'm absolutely ready for the fight. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm good to go on Saturday night, and I'm expecting a performance.
Well, best of luck. If you want to do your final photos to the press, you can stand up.
You sit on the stool, Brett. Rick just come slightly behind your shoulder. That's it, mate. Fold your arms, Rick. That's perfect. You just say, I didn't have to do a face like that. Good smile.
It's a light heavyweight contest. We're going to welcome both of our boxers to the stage now. First of our boxers is from Bradford, 7 career victories to his name. Introducing Jermaine Springer. And now to make his way to the stage as well, from Birmingham, the former English and British light heavyweight champion, 14 professional career victories to his name, introducing Shakan Peters.
Okay, Shaq, we'll start with you. You are coming back from that defeat to Craig Richards. Now you've had a bit of time to reflect on that. What have you learned? What have you sort of implemented in the gym, and are you ready to go again?
I learned a lot about my character in that fight. Obviously, I was in situations myself I never found myself in, but I carried on, I pressed on. It was a fight I believe, I was winning. I was very hard and critical on myself, but it's a fight I believe I was winning. But being back in the gym with the lads and working on things with my coach, it's been good. We've worked on numerous of things, and it all showed this Saturday for sure.
And even though it was a defeat, seeing him going on to that world title fight and fight well against Bibble, does that put you in more confidence? Because as you say, you thought you were winning that fight up until then, so it means that you're in the mix at that level.
To be honest, I don't get any confidence from his performance. I know the people may look and think, he done well, which he did. He gave a good account of himself. But I don't base my career and myself as a boxer based on another fighter. I believe it's a fight I should have won, and as I said, I was winning. But nevertheless, he gave a good account of himself, and I'm sure, going forward with the Hennessy stable, I'll be there myself. Pushing on in that situation myself.
How important is it for you to make a statement this Saturday night?
It's important for me to look good and to get the win. Jermaine's is a game fighter, he's a decent fighter, decent record, and he's going to obviously bring it as well, so I've got to be switched on, which I am. I've had a good camp, I've trained hard for this, and it's important for me to put out a dominant performance for sure.
And Jermaine as well, just to bring you in, Shaq, I just said you're a decent fighter, so he obviously holds you in high esteem as well. Going into lockdown, you'd got 7 victories with just 1 defeat. A year off. How's the year off affected you? How have you kept going during that year?
I've been one of the lucky fighters during COVID, to be honest, because I just got a fight just before lockdown in March, and also I fought in November, and now I'm fighting. So I've almost had 3 fights where most of the boxers in my similar position have not fought, so I'm in a good position.
Have you kept yourself going as well during lockdown? I know you fought in November and you suffered defeat in November as well, but you kept yourself in camp, so to speak, during lockdown.
Yeah, 100%. I take boxing seriously. So after the fight, my last fight, obviously I lost. I was obviously gutted about the fight, but I maintained my work ethic, stayed in the gym, and this has led me to be ready for this opportunity. Last time I didn't quite grasp my opportunity, but this time I'm looking to grasp the opportunity with both hands.
And Shakan said to you as well, you're a good fighter, you're a tough fighter. Maybe a chance to have your thoughts on Shaq as well, because no doubt you'll have been watching Shakan and Craig Richards. So just sum up your opponent for Saturday for us.
Yeah, I know Shakan's a good fighter. I've been following his journey way before I was a potential opponent. I know he's a good fighter, and I'm ready.
And is this the right fight for you now as well? Both you guys are coming into this fight off a defeat. Who's going to be the most hungry? Is it the right fight for you now, Jermaine, this one?
Yeah, I think it's the right fight. I think I learned a lot from my last fight, and that's given me the confidence to be ready and to be confident in this fight. Obviously, some of the mistakes I've made, I've been working in the gym, and overall, since my last fight, I just feel like I've grown in confidence, and I've just grown just as a person, to be honest.
Shakan, what kind of fight are you expecting you, Jermaine, to bring on Saturday night? You're both coming off the defeat, so you're wanting to make a good performance.
I know, I respect it. Firstly, I respect any fighter who gets in the ring. I know for himself as well, it's an opportunity for him to put on a display and show his skills as a fighter as well. But for me, I don't go in there thinking and focusing on what he's going to bring. As I said, I respect him as a fighter. I know he's a decent fighter and things like that. But I've got to go in there knowing what I've got to do. Whatever adjustments I need to make. We're prepared well in the gym for this, and I'd make the adjustments on the night, but I know that in my head going in there, no pressure, I've got to get the win, but I've also got to look good doing it as well, so I know what I've got to do.
And providing all goes well Saturday night, you get the win, then what are you wanting ahead of that? What's your sort of 12-month goal?
As for my team, obviously for Hennessy to do for me, I'm more focused on, this Saturday, getting the job done, looking good. We welcome the fans back now, so it's good to actually, have this particular kind of fight with the fans there and the audience there on a card. And I'm just gonna go in there and get the win and focus on this Saturday.
How excited are you to get the fans back? Not as many as would be full, but to have any fans there, how important is that?
Obviously, I'm one of the fighters who've been lucky, as Jermaine said. I've had fights myself through the lockdown as well. So obviously, having the fans back now, it's a credit for them to see the setup of Channel 5 and the setup what Hennessy does as well. So and obviously, this is a great card. So for me, I'm more focused on the job in the ring. It's good for my loved ones and my family to be there, and everyone, friends to see me get the win this Saturday as well.
There we are, we've got 2 very hungry boxers this coming Saturday evening, both going into Saturday night on the back of defeats, so both will be striving for the victory. They're in a scheduled 8-round light heavyweight contest, which forms part of our Hennessy Sports Bill at the Skydome, Coventry. Time for your pictures, for Shakan Pitters and Jermaine Springer.
Down to me, Jermaine, straight down to me. Here we go.
What did you say, sorry?
Just straight to me, that's it. Straight to this camera, guys. Now fold your arms, please. Straight down here. Straight to this camera.